I tested the best and worst, most viral TikTok life hacks. From epic failures that left me like this, to the life hacks that might actually come in useful one day. All this and much more as I test viral TikTok life hacks. If you ever find yourself at the mercy of a ketchup spill, hey, don't panic. The solution is simple. At least, that is according to this viral TikTok hack, which claims condiments can be seamlessly swiped up by creating a makeshift conveyor belt using a hardback book and baking paper. I immediately knew I had to try this sorcery for myself. I'm sorry. It's just so beautiful. I need a moment. I mean, sure, the hack might require significantly more effort than just using a wipe, but to that I say, some things in life are worth the effort. Just look at this goddamn thing. It's like ASMR, but for the eyes. And speaking of ketchup, we've all been there, desperately trying to squeeze out the last remnants of ketchup. But, my ketchup-loving comrade, there's a better way. That is, rather than aggressively shaking the bottle, just swing your arm around like a maniac. As you can see, I gave this a whirl, and not only was it fun, but it worked excellently too. In fact, it worked so well that the ketchup clogs the bottom so that it needs a firm shake to glug the ketchup out. Okay, picture this. You're trying to make a sandwich, but the butter is too hard, meaning your attempts to spread it have resulted in ripped and a holy piece of bread garnished with solid clumps of butter. Well, dry your tears, as this next hearsay hack could be a sandwich game changer. How clever is that? But the question is, does it work? Armed with a tiny sieve, aka a tea strainer, it was the moment of truth. Yum. Sorry, I got a little lost there for a second. Point is, the hack worked beautifully, and it's certainly one I'll be returning to. Now, if you'll excuse me, the sandwich and I have some unfinished business to attend to. You ever find yourself yearning for the inside of your orange to be blue?
What?
No? Well, me neither. And yet, here we are with various TikTokers claiming that they've managed to achieve such a thing. That is, they injected blue soda into an orange, waited 24 hours, and poof, the inside of the fruit magically became blue.
Does it come in black?
Now believe me, I'm a gullible guy. Matter of fact, just last year I lost all of my savings because a Nigerian prince left me his inheritance. But this? Well, even I had my doubts. Still, I grabbed myself an orange, a syringe, and some delicious Berry Freeze Prime energy drink and got to injecting. Per the TikTok's instructions, I let it sit for a whole 24 hours while I excitedly awaited its new blue hue. And now for the grand reveal. Lied to and cheated. Again! This is worse than my missing inheritance. Alas, it seems my oranges will be remaining just that. Orange. We all love life hacks, but my memory sucks. That's why I created this life hacks poster. It's a beautiful display of 70 of my favorite simple life hacks, easily referenceable on your wall. Scan the QR code on the screen and click the link in the description to purchase. Now, given the name Life Hacks, it's not unreasonable to expect that they should solve a common issue faced by many in a simple and accessible way. And boy, if I had a nickel for every time I've needed a chocolate mold of my own hand. Well, my prayers were answered with this next TikTok, which claimed that all I needed to do was dunk my hand into ice-cold water and then douse it in melted chocolate. This should then set and effortlessly peel away, leaving a chocolate mold of my hand. Well, folks, I can confirm that after dunking my hand in iced water and willingly coating it in chocolate like a fool, This hack does not work.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Turns out body heat isn't the best thing at setting chocolate. Who'd have thought? With that in mind, I then supposed that dunking my chocolate sausages back in the water might help the setting process. And well, while it was far from a successful endeavor, it kind of helped, which, as you can see, I was then able to peel off some parts. All in all, though, to say that this was a fail would be generous. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got some soggy chocolate fingers that aren't gonna suck themselves. Of all the fruits, there's arguably nothing quite as refreshing as a juicy watermelon. So just imagine how cool it'd be if you could turn a whole watermelon into a juice box. Well, not so literally, although that would be pretty awesome. Still, if you chop one end off a watermelon, whisk its insides with a hand whisk, and then strain it through a sieve, you'll have yourself a glass of fresh watermelon juice.
A few moments later.
Yeah, things got pretty messy. But after beating the crap out of the watermelon, all I had to do was strain it through a sieve, et voila! A glass of fresh watermelon juice. I have to say, despite being drenched in the stuff, I am somewhat impressed that this worked.
But couldn't you have just done this all in a blender minus the extreme mess?
Alright, that's enough from you.
No! Don't put me back into chaos!
If you're anything like me, then you probably have the culinary prowess of an ape. Consequently, chopping things, such as onions, can be difficult, not to mention time-consuming. But worry not, as this next TikTok will put an end to all your onion chopping woes. Allegedly. Simply chop off the butt end of an onion, jab in a fork, and get to shredding away with a vegetable peeler. What could be easier? Well, consider those my famous last words, as despite following the instructions exactly, my result was a sad, mushy, and a half-mutilated onion. A far cry from the crisp shreds seen in the TikTok video. Now, perhaps my peeler wasn't just sharp enough, you might be wondering, but considering it was brand new, out of the packet, that seems unlikely. Onion cutting life hack, you are the weakest link. Goodbye. But if you're hungry for more fruit and vegetable chopping hacks, then I've got just the one. Imagine you're whipping up a salad and you've got a ton of tomatoes that need to be chopped. Ordinarily, this could be pretty time-consuming. However, with this next life hack, you can apparently chop them all in one go. That is by sandwiching the tomatoes between two plates and then slicing right through the center with a big knife. When the plate is lifted, all the tomatoes should be perfectly sliced in half, though I'll be the judge of that. Now, as you can see, it was a slight challenge to keep the plates balanced and in place. However, with a little perseverance, it actually worked more or less perfectly. Though that isn't to say that some of the tomatoes didn't leave a little to be desired. But for the purposes of this video, it's getting a pass from me. I mean, I, for one, will definitely be using it in the future. I'm always eating salads.
No, you aren't, fat ass.
All right. Hey, what did I tell you? Speaking of salads, let's toss an avocado life hack into the mix. And according to this TikToker, removing your avocado from its peel is as easy as a twist of the whisk. Looks simple enough, right? Avocado chopped, check. Whisk in hand, check. It's time to go, baby. Come on, get out. Nah, I swear it was the avocado. It was really tough, trust me. I work out. In all seriousness, while the life hack did technically work, it wasn't the smoothest of scoops. Perhaps due to the avocado's ripeness or the whisk's flimsiness compared to the TikTok. But to be honest, I don't even like avocado. Oddly, within the realm of TikTok life hacks, it seems many are concerned with peeling apples. And if you've seen previous episodes, you'll know that these apple hacks can have varying degrees of success. Well, I'm here with another. And this time, the so-called hack is that you can peel an apple by attaching it to a drill and essentially scrubbing it up against a scouring pad, like so. Now, do you think this is going to work? I'll give you a minute to lock in your answers. With my apple skewered onto the drill. Oops. Hey, sorry, let me grab that. As I was saying, with my apple skewered onto the drill, I dunked it onto the sponge-filled container and I got a drillin'. But drill as I might, it managed to peel nothing but a tiny portion of the apple. And quite honestly, I'm pretty sure that even that was just a fluke. I went in for a second dip, only this is what happened. I think it went pretty well. I'm now questioning whether or not everything I see on the internet is actually true. Wait. No. Don't tell me that there aren't sexy singles in my area waiting to meet me. Anywho, determined to peel my apple once and for all, I turned to yet another TikTok life hack that promised to fulfill all my apple peeling fantasies. And the method was pretty straightforward. Toss an apple and a razor blade into a jar of water and give it a shake. The idea being that the razor should magically peel the apple. All right, it's shake time, baby. Whew! I may have gotten a little carried away there. Anyway, despite my best shaking efforts, sadly, the apple remained completely untouched. It's almost like people are just lying for views. Who would do such a thing? Heartbroken, I sought comfort in the arms of another fruit, as was promised that it's actually possible to peel a mango just like a banana. At least according to this TikToker who says if you score a mango's peel into 4, it should easily come away just like a banana's. Now, to really put this idea to the test, I initially tried peeling it without scoring. Though, as you can see, this wasn't exactly a success. Nevertheless, I then scored the peel into 4, and while it did show signs of potentially working, it seemed my mango was just too gosh darn soft and juicy. It only occurred to me after the fact that the type of mango I had was an Alfonso mango, known for being softer and supple, whereas the TikToker seemed to have a Kent mango, known to be on the tougher side. So back to the store I went for the right mango, and it's true. You can peel it just like a nana. There's nothing worse than when you save some chips for later, but by the time you get to them, they're all soft and stale. However, the next genius hack is a real chip changer. According to the TikTok, all you need to do is peel the lid attachment from a packet of baby wipes, stick it on the bag of chips, cut an opening in the middle, and there you have it. It's the perfect doorway to a deliciously crispy crisps. I mean, it looks simple enough, but let's give it a whirl. Luckily, I already had some baby wipes on hand, as I find they're much softer on my hemorrhoids. Wait, what? Anyway, when I grabbed some limited edition Minecraft Doritos, naturally, and got crafting. Now, I will say that the specific shape of my opening on my baby wipes didn't allow for the most convenient chip eatery, so learned from my mistakes and checked beforehand. All in all, though, I have to say it's a very easy and useful hack. Admittedly, though, the association between a delicious snack and butt wiping isn't the most appetizing. But if you don't have any baby wipes on hand, don't worry, just take a look at this next hack. Pretty clever, right? And having put it through the Be Amazed certification, I can confirm that it works incredibly. Dare I say, one of the first hacks today that is simple, requires little effort, and is super effective. Join me in appreciation for this rare moment. Namaste. As I slept last night, I tossed and turned, my mind plagued by the desire to make my bananas stretchy, like silly putty. Must make my bananas stretch, I muttered, until I woke up in a sweat. It was at that moment that I opened TikTok and found the answer to my dreams, and apparently all I needed to do was soak my banana in Coca-Cola and milk for 24 hours. Thrilled by the prospect, I quickly got to soaking my banana in a cocktail of Coke and milk, but after letting it stew for exactly 24 hours, it seemed that my banana remained, bananary. That is, to me, not stretchy at all, but soggy and covered in milky Coke. Sorry, I just need a moment alone. Elsewhere in the banana realm of TikTok life hacks, there are claims that bananas are even able to power your phone. Yeah, they say that if you join 2 bananas by a coin, plug in the prongs of a phone charger, and then connect your phone, it'll apparently begin to charge. I mean, the potato didn't work in the previous episode, but I'm confident this time that the banana will work. Well, what can I say? Besides, that was a waste of 2 bananas. No electricity in these bananas, I'm afraid, just pure potassium power. Moving on now, and there aren't many things that unite the entire human race, but I'm pretty sure that we all are in agreement when it comes to Nutella's deliciousness. So, wouldn't it be great if you could get more mileage from your jar of Nutella? Well, here's an idea for you. That might just be the most genius thing I've ever seen. And, well, you didn't have to tell me twice before I was going to try this one out for myself. For the purposes of this video, I sadly had to empty an entire jar of Nutella. And don't worry, Papa's coming back for you. Which I then filled halfway with milk. It was then that time again. What time? Shake time, baby. Cue the music! Anyway, after shaking, it was then the all-important grand reveal. Drum roll, please! I mean, it's not the worst, I guess. Though it's not exactly the chocolate stream of dreams I had hoped for. Just look at how the Nutella in mine was still separated from the overall consistency. It was just a little lumpy. On the bright side, though, I still have a plate full of Nutella that needs eating. But sticking with all things Nutella, and this next one isn't so much a hack as it is a dark secret that Nutella doesn't want you to know. Okay, maybe it's not a dark secret, but nevertheless, some TikTokers claim that within the lid of a Nutella jar, there's a secret hatch, one that conceals a free chocolate chip cookie. Now, I know this is obviously a lie, but on the tiny chance it was real, I had to try it. I couldn't believe it. I peeled back the cardboard disc, and there I saw nothing. No cookie, nada, just a complete emptiness, like the vacuousness of my soul. According to stats, there are over 1.56 billion iPhone users in the world, 155 million of which are in the US. And while most of us would probably like to think that we know how to use our iPhones, we might be missing a few tricks. Case in point, check out this life hack that allows you to screenshot an entire website. Simply head over to a website, for example a recipe, and hit the lock and volume up buttons simultaneously to screenshot. Then bring up the screenshot and tap the full page tab. You'll then see how you can scroll through the entire page in just one screenshot. Now go ahead and save that to your photos and you'll have the full thing saved there in one picture. Pretty clever, right? But the iPhone magic doesn't stop there. With this next hack, you can add in secret functions to your phone. Bring up your settings, navigate to the Accessibility tab, and then hit Touch. Scroll on down to Back Tap and select the Double Tap option. There you'll find a variety of apps and functions that can be accessed simply by double tapping the back of your iPhone. I selected Camera, and as you can see, with a simple double tap, it brings up the app right away. Who knew? And the last of the iPhone hacks for today, if you head over to iMessage, I don't know what she's talking about. She must have meant to send that to my dad. Anyway, if you tap on the message bar, a window should pop up. Select Autofill and then hit Scan Text. A camera window will then appear and it can scan real-world text and input it into a message bar, saving you from typing. Now, if you'll excuse me, I just gotta go quickly reply to a message. How do you like your eggs? Poached, scrambled, fried, shellless, and rainbow-colored? Wait, what? Yeah, it's apparently possible to make your eggs not only shellless, but rainbow-colored too. Just take a look. Now sure, do I have the purpose for colorful eggs? No. Will they enhance my life at all as a life hack should? Absolutely not. But, well, I want to, okay? And thus, I got to soak in my eggs in vinegar in shades of red, blue, green. And as the eggs stewed for about 3 days, the vinegar, aka an acid, broke down their shells, revealing their inner semi-permeable membranes. Through a process known as osmosis, some of the colored vinegar permeated the membrane, causing the eggs to not only swell, but become colored too. And well, just take a look at the final result. If anyone wants to know what I'm getting my loved ones for Christmas, it's colored squidgy eggs. Now, fun fact. Did you know that an egg actually contains every single vitamin except for vitamin C? But before you go and gobble a load of eggs, just check out this next hack so you know whether your eggs are good or have expired. It's said that if an egg has gone bad, it will float in water, as opposed to a good egg that will sink. It's time to get eggy. Now for this experiment, I decided to buy some eggs a few months back, giving them time to rot up real nice. Lo and behold, when I plopped one of these stinkers in the water, it floated. As for the good egg, well, it sure damn did sink like the Titanic. Pretty neat, huh? But why does this happen? Well, as the egg expires, it begins to decompose, aka more of its mass converts into gas. And because eggshells are porous, some of this gas escapes, gradually making the egg lighter and therefore float in water. So if your egg floats, don't say I didn't warn you. Similarly, this TikToker claims that if you drop a bunch of blueberries in a bowl of water, the ones that are fully ripe and sweeter in flavor will sink to the bottom, while the ones that are less ripe and more tart in flavor will rise to the top. Curious. And in the market for some perfectly ripe blueberries, I tossed mine in some water and saw how quickly they segregated themselves. And better yet, I even did a blind taste test and found that the ones from the top did, in fact, have an ever so slightly more sour profile.
Not bad, not bad.
While the sinkers were sweeter and more subdued.
Nice.
This is apparently due to the ripe ones being denser and having a higher sugar content, causing them to sink. Lemon juice can be great for a lot of things. However, the process of squeezing lemons is arduous and time-consuming. Well, say goodbye to all your lemon squeezing troubles, as with this next hack, all you have to do is take a toothpick and pierce down the center of the lemon. With a hard squeeze, the lemon juice should just shoot out in a clean jet. Now, isn't that satisfying? Let's see if it passes the BMA's test. Having pierced the lemon with a toothpick, I gave it a squeeze, but as you can see, my first attempt wasn't very fruitful, pun fully intended. And worse yet, it wasn't long until the sheer strength of my bulging muscles caused the lemon to split in half. The perils of being a hunk. Take 2 wasn't much better either. I did manage to pry out a teeny stream of juice in the end. God knows how the guy in the TikTok got it to shoot out like that. His lemon must have taken a blue pill or something. But not so fast! The lemon juicing ain't over just yet, as I have another hack to quench all your lemon juicing needs. This specially crafted little attachment right here can be easily inserted into a lemon to transform it into a sprayable lemon. Now, it was at this point that I said shut up and take my money. With the butt end of the lemon chopped off, I twisted in the gadget, and hey, presto, it worked like magic.
Look at this. Perfect. Oh my God.
Isn't it great?
Chris.
I could play with this thing all day. As for its purpose, it's advertised as a way to easily season foods with citrus fruits. Though I much prefer the idea of using it to spray the eyes of my enemies. You better watch out, Debbie. At some point or another, we've all been victim to a fizzed-up, exploding can of soda. And while you might have heard that tapping the can on top prevents overflow, this TikToker claims that what you should actually tap is its side. Intrigued, I tried out the two methods and compared the results. Now, what's interesting is, regardless of where I tapped the can, the results were pretty much consistent, which got me thinking, what if the tapping is merely a decoy and is rather the time that the tapping takes that gives the soda time to settle? So, I ran another experiment. This time I shook 2 cans again, but one I opened immediately after, and the other I left for the same amount of time I tapped the can for. And well, just take a look at the results. There you have it. Proof that tapping the can actually has little to no effect. So next time you have a fizzed up can, just give it a moment to settle, and it should be all fine. Sometimes I even impress myself with how genius I am. As the big man once said himself, let there be light. So without further ado, take a look at this next bright idea. I swear to God, if I have to do one more ridiculously stupid hack, I quit! Due to legally binding contractual agreements, I am thrilled to be back and trying this life hack. Equipped with 4 AA batteries and a light bulb, I positioned them on my counter as instructed, making sure they were touching the bulb. But then, in a shocking twist, right as I placed the last battery, something unbelievable happened. Yeah, it didn't work. I mean, it's hardly a surprise if you consider that batteries must be part of a complete circuit joined by wires in order to transmit an electrical current. So, can 4 batteries touching a light bulb power it? Absolutely not. Does it get views, though, and have schmucks like me talking about it? Absolutely. Now, who doesn't love chocolate?
Did you say chocolate? Chocolate? Chocolate! Chocolate!
As a matter of fact, it's estimated that an average American consumes around 19 pounds of the stuff annually. But even with those stats, I'm sure if you could magically create more chocolate for free, you would, right? Well, just check out this next life hack. Pretty mind-blowing, huh? Or so that's how it initially seems.
Why isn't it possible?
It's just not.
Why not?
The truth is, it's merely an optical illusion, and I put it to the test just to show you. I mean, just take note of how the alleged extra piece of chocolate is removed. It might look like a full chocolate bar, but the 5th row is shorter. As a matter of fact, the bar is now 1.6% smaller. Still, it's a pretty clever optical illusion to trick your pals with. Not to mention, the perfect excuse for me to buy chocolate and write it off as a business expense. So I guess in a way, I did get some free chocolate after all.
A win is a win.
If, like me, you get frustrated by trying to squeeze all the sauce out of packets like these, then the solution is simple. It's said that all you need to do is place the open packet of sauce along the edge of a saucepan, clasp it with a lid, and then strain the packet through, forcing it to dispense every last drop of the sauce possible. Awesome, right? But just how well does it work? Well, I put it to the test, and the proof really is in the sauce, as it worked flawlessly. Simple and effective. The mark of a great life hack. Keeping with the riveting topic of product packaging, this next life hack suggests that there's an easier way to get into plastic-wrapped crates of soda cans. That is, rather than battling with the tough, stretchy plastic, you can use the bottom of another can, like so, to slice into the plastic. I mean, surely we're all thinking the same thing, right? how you'd literally need to rip into the pack first anyway in order to have a can to use, defeating the whole point. Deep breaths. Remember what the counselor said. Anyway, I begrudgingly ripped into my soda pack, grabbed a can, and got to swirling it around. Admittedly, this part of the hack worked reasonably well, though the point still stands. It's essentially a redundant hack if I have to do the very thing that the hack attempts to solve. Regardless of that, I'd say that the can spinning is, all in all, more complicated anyway, meaning it's gonna be a, from me. But if you ever find yourself needing to get into a glass bottle, but you don't have a bottle opener, then perhaps this next hack might be of help. You don't have to tell me twice to go buy some beers. I mean, it can't be that hard, right? Hey, BMAs from the future here. Yeah, it turns out that it is that hard.
2,000 years later.
I make it look easy, don't I? Determined to make it work, I even tried doing it closer to the table's edge so that I could swing it from a lower angle. At what point does this become embarrassing? In the end, the only way I could make it somewhat work was by holding the bottle in the air and at an angle like sabering champagne. And well, that was hardly as satisfying. I'd been defeated. Don't mind me, I'm just gonna go use all this beer to drink away my sorrows. You might think that your smashed plate is beyond repair, but the solution is simple. Just tape it up, soak it in milk, and wait for the magical milk to bond it back together. Now, ordinarily, I'm not a gambling man, but I'm willing to bet my entire Pokemon card collection on that this won't work. Nevertheless, I plowed on and smashed the plate into 3 pieces, just like in the original TikTok. After that, I taped it up with duct tape and patiently waited for it to soak in the magical milk for 24 hours. But would you believe it? The only thing that had changed after 24 hours was the milk smelt a little sour. The plate, alas, remained broken. I mean, it's kind of a relief. I panicked a little bit about my Pokemon cards just then. Don't worry, Pikachu. Daddy's got you. In the phone-obsessed world we live in, phone chargers are like life support to us. So you might want to check out this next handy life hack, should you ever need it in the future. Neat, huh? I, of course, tried this one out for myself and can confirm it works like a charm, so definitely one to keep in your back pocket. On to the next, and using scissors to cut your sticky tape can often be time-consuming. Worse yet, using your teeth can be strenuous and messy. Which is why this next life hack makes all your tape cutting needs a breeze, or so it claims. All you need to do is wrap a cable tie around a roll of tape, trim off the excess to create a sharp edge, and then use said sharp edge to apply pressure to the tape to cut it. Looks simple enough, right? But I've been hoodwinked a few times too many to just blindly trust anything, so I put it to the test. Now correct me if I'm wrong, but I did everything as I was supposed to, and yet there I was, still struggling to cut the tape, ending up with just a messily ripped pieces that weren't even fit for purpose. For the price and convenience, I could just buy an actual tape dispenser off Amazon for about $8. Now, did you know that you can make a phone amplifier from just a toilet paper tube? Sounds pretty cool, right? All I had to do was cut an opening the size of my phone, pierce 2 pins at the back of the tube, et voila! I had my very own makeshift phone amplifier. Scientifically speaking, this is because when sound waves travel through a narrow tube, they bounce off the walls of the tube, which in turn causes them to amplify and creates a louder sound at the other end. Unfortunately, however, I don't foresee this replacing my actual Bluetooth speaker, despite my neighbors probably hoping so. Can't a man listen to Celine Dion's greatest hits without constant complaints? all by myself. As this next hack would have you believe, toothpaste is not only full of fluoride-y goodness, but free hidden toys, too. Yep, can you believe it? All this time, we've somehow collectively been missing these huge free toys inside toothpaste tubes. But just for your viewing pleasure and to prove how ridiculous this stupid TikTok is, oh my god, you wouldn't believe it. No, I'm just playing with you. There was nothing there. That said, if anyone knows where I can get my hands on a Shrek toothpaste attachment that squeezes out of his rear end, then please let me know. And that, ladies and gents, is all from me today. I'm curious, will you be using any of these hacks going forward? If not, purchase our Life Hacks poster by clicking on the screen now. It's full of some genuinely useful life hacks. Catch you in the next one.